In the heart of the ancient city of Jerusalem lies a place unlike any other, a place where the footsteps of prophets echo through time, where angels once descended, and where the heavens opened for a journey that changed the fate of mankind. This is the story of Masjid Al-Aqsa, the sacred sanctuary, the second house of worship ever built on earth, and a land that holds the tears, the prayers, and the blood of generations. But why is this place so important? What makes it the most contested piece of land on earth? And why do Muslims feel such a deep, unbreakable connection to it? Let us travel through history, not through dates and dry facts, but through the living heartbeat of Al-Aqsa's story. Long before empires rose and fell, before the modern world even existed, there stood two holy places on earth, one in Makkah, built by Prophet Adam, peace be upon him, and rebuilt by Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and his son, Ismail. The other was in Jerusalem, the Bayt al-Maqdis, built 40 years after the Kaaba. This is what we now know as Masjid al-Aqsa. This land was chosen by Allah, not just once, but again and again. For centuries, it became the home of prophets. Ibrahim, peace be upon him, walked here. Musa, peace be upon him, longed to reach it before he died. Dawood, peace be upon him, and Sulaiman, peace be upon him, ruled from its sacred walls. Isa, peace be upon him, Jesus, was born nearby and preached in its courtyards. This was no ordinary land, this was the blessed land, mentioned in the Quran. Then came a night unlike any other, a night when the skies opened, when the laws of time and space were suspended, and when the seal of the prophets, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was taken from Makkah to this very land, in a miraculous journey called Isra and Miraj. The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was carried on the back of Buraq, a heavenly creature, to Masjid al-Aqsa. There, in that sacred mosque, he led all the prophets, from Adam to Isa, in prayer. Imagine it, a moment in time where every prophet ever sent by Allah stood behind one man, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the final messenger. From there the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ascended to the heavens, to Sidratul Muntaha, to receive the gift of Salah, the 5 daily prayers. And from that day on, Masjid al-Aqsa was not just a place of history, it became a symbol of unity between the prophets and a part of every Muslim's spiritual legacy. But Al-Aqsa's story is not just about miracles, it's also a story of struggle, betrayal, and resistance. In the early days of Islam, Al-Aqsa was the first Qibla, the direction Muslims faced in prayer. Before we turned towards the Kaaba in Makkah, our hearts and our prayers were pointed toward Jerusalem. Later, during the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliph of Islam, Jerusalem was peacefully conquered. Umar walked into the city humbly, no throne, no army behind him, only justice in his hands. He refused to pray in Christian churches so they wouldn't be converted into mosques, and he signed the Pact of Umar, guaranteeing protection to Jews and Christians. That was Islam's way, not by fire, but by faith. But history was not kind to Al-Aqsa. The Crusaders came, blood was shed, the mosque was defiled, turned into stables for horses, desecrated by those who did not understand its sanctity. Then, like a roaring lion, Salahuddin Ayyubi emerged. With faith in his heart and courage in his sword, he liberated Al-Aqsa, not with vengeance, but with mercy. He restored it to its beauty, and reopened it to the world. He wept inside its walls, not because he won a battle, but because he reclaimed a piece of paradise for his ummah. And yet, the story did not end. Today Al-Aqsa stands once again in danger. Occupied, restricted, and surrounded by tension. Every year, every Ramadan, we see images of soldiers storming its prayer halls, children running in fear, worshippers weeping in its courtyards. But still, the Adhan echoes. Still, the olive trees stand. Still, millions of hearts beat for Al-Aqsa, from Indonesia to Turkey, from Pakistan to Palestine, from America to Africa. Because Al-Aqsa is not just stone and marble, it is a symbol of faith, of resistance, of hope. To love Al-Aqsa is to love the Prophet, peace be upon him. To defend it is to defend the honor of Islam. To speak about it is to carry the torch of every prophet who ever lived. You may never walk its streets, you may never pray in its mosque, but if your heart aches for it, then you are already connected, because Al-Aqsa lives not just in Palestine, It lives in the soul of this ummah. This was the story of Masjid Al-Aqsa, the sacred land of the prophets. If your heart moved even a little, then share this message, raise your voice, and never forget. Because the world may try to silence the Adhan, but as long as we remember, Al-Aqsa will never fall.